Arguably the most complex of the track disciplines to explain, the Omnium is essentially a decathlon on wheels, if you were. It's 6 different events run over 2 consecutive days, with points awarded through all the events, and it's the rider with the most accumulated points after the final event that wins the gold medal. Now there's 18 riders in both the men's and the women's event, with 1 rider from each nation. Event number 1 is the scratch race. Now this is a traditional bunched race with 15 kilometers for the men and 10 kilometers for the women. And it's simply first across the line, that's the winner. Event number 2 is the individual pursuit. Now the distance for the men on this particular discipline is 4,000 meters or 16 laps of the 250 meter track, or 3,000 meters for the women, that's 12 laps. Now as you can see, the riders start on opposite sides of the track, just on this red pursuit line, and over the course of the race they try and catch each other or set the fastest time. Event number 3 is the elimination race, the bunch race with a little bit of a twist. Now in this race, 18 riders start up on the grid, as it were, and then every 2 laps there's a sprint lap where the last rider across the line on every one of those sprint laps is eliminated, until the last rider standing is the winner. Event number 4 is the individual time trial. It's simply a race against the clock and the fastest wins. Now the men do 1 kilometer, which is 4 laps of the 250 meter track, and the women do 500 meters, which is 2 laps of the 250 meter track. Event number 5 is the flying lap. This is a very short 250 meter time trial. So the rider gets a lap, essentially to get up to speed before the last 200 meters from this point are timed. It's the fastest that wins. Event number 6 is the points race. Now this is the final and also the longest event of the Omnium. Now the men do 40 kilometers or 160 laps of the track, and the women do 25 kilometers or 100 laps of the track. Now every 10 laps there's a sprint for points, with the first 4 across the finish line, just here awarded 5, 3, 2 and 1 points. Now strangely, despite this race being called the points race, the main objective of the points race is to gain a lap on the rest of the field. Now if one rider manages to do that, they run out the outright winners. But if 2 riders or even more do that, or for example the whole of the bunch is on the same lap, it's then when points decide the outcome. Oh, one more thing, the final time across the line, it's double the points. Points gained from the previous 5 events are carried through to the final points race, but should a rider lose a lap to the main field, they actually lose points from their overall score, meaning nobody can rest until the line is crossed for the very last time. Riders to watch out for in Rio include defending champion Laura Trott in the women's event, and 2 of the finest sprinters of their generation, the up-and-coming Fernando Gaviria of Colombia and the Manx missile himself, Mark Cavendish. Now, for an explanation of another track discipline, this time the Kieran, how about clicking just down here? And for our weekly GCN show, click just down here. And to subscribe to GCN, click on some of these Omnium riders, or possibly the globe. And don't forget to share and like this video too.